Welcome back to The Price of Business. I'm your host, Kevin Price, talking to you about you and your business. And I want to spend some time talking about a group that I'm a huge fan of called Cornerstone Recovery. I've known so many people whose lives have been touched through this program. Drug and alcohol abuse is so pervasive in our culture, and it's great that there's an organization like Cornerstone making the difference in the lives of young people and their families. Debbie Ortiz, she is with Cornerstone Recovery, and Debbie, glad to have you back on the program. Kind of give us the overview of what Cornerstone's all about before you introduce your guests.
Great. Well, we help families who are in an early recovery from drug and alcohol addiction. And we work, as you said, not only with the teens, but also their parents. So we really help provide hope and healing to those families so they can go on with our lives.
Great. Tell us about your guests today.
So today I'm very excited to have Tom Fritsch, who happens to be the chairman of our board. And he is also extremely generous toward Cornerstone in both giving his time and his talents and, of course, his financial support. So I'm honored to have him. Tom, would you just tell us a little bit about your company and how you came to be involved with Cornerstone?
Sure. Thanks, Debbie. And hi, Kevin. My company is called Allen Austin Global. I'm a partner and an owner in the firm. We provide a broad range of consulting services to business leaders and other organizational leaders that include retained executive search, leadership consulting, high-performance team building, strategic implementation, change management strategies, and things like that. Without getting into all the nitty-gritty, the ethos of our firm is really about making a difference in the organizations with whom we work and doing that organizationally as well as one person at a time. We have a philosophy of really not being too self-promotional. We actually believe in just going to work for clients before they even hire us, which actually, paradoxically is a very successful approach. But our commitment's authentic, and I'm personally in recovery. I don't mind saying that, and I've learned that getting a gift I don't deserve is something I can only keep if I give it back. And so I give it back whenever I can in the recovery community, but I've also learned that I can give it back in life, and part of my life is work.
Thank you,
let me
Tom.
ask you, Tom, there's a lot of different organizations out there that support recovery, drug recovery, and alcohol recovery. What was it about Cornerstone that resonated with you?
That's a great question. So I'll just wind the hands of time back. A good friend of mine by the name of Bob Knowlton was the one who actually introduced me to Cornerstone, invited me to consider being part of the board. He has since left us on this world. He died back in 2009 from pancreatic cancer. But Bob was a really unique guy, and when he talked about Cornerstone, I'd never seen him so lit up about anything in my time of knowing Bob. And so he introduced me to Annette Edens, who's the president and CEO of Cornerstone. And, I'll tell you, as a matter of background, I'd had experience serving on other advisory boards and not-for-profit boards, and I'd had a bit of frustration because I really wasn't able to contribute in what I believe was a meaningful way. I felt like I was just kind of going through the motions, and what they were really interested in was my checkbook, and that may or may not have been the case. In the case of Cornerstone, I saw a real opportunity to both support them financially, but also to actually help build a board that actually was fit for purpose and can make a difference. One other thing I'll say that probably really would characterize why I love Cornerstone, why I believe that Cornerstone is extraordinary. After I joined the board, we have an annual board retreat in January, and the first time we did this, I was facilitating it. And as we were wrapping up, we'd created a vision statement, and I said, so what? What's the punchline, guys? What do we tell people that don't know about us that differentiates us? And Kirk Campbell, who basically founded Cornerstone, who's a pretty brash young guy, but I love him to death, said, "That's easy. We're the most successful organization of our kind anywhere. Our success rate is 70%. Participants who go through the Cornerstone program are sober. 70% of them are sober after 2 years of being out of the program. That's exceptional. So if you think about the number of people and the number of families, and then the extended impact of them living in this world, just think about the geometric impact that this incredible organization has on our community.
Very good. Go ahead there, Debbie.
Tom, I've had the privilege of working with you on a workshop that you did with the staff, and so I do know that your heart is solely in this organization, and I so much appreciate it. But you've just been extremely philanthropic. Tell me about how your company has responded to your involvement in your generosity.
Well, that's a great question, too. So I'm not going to name names, but I will say that there are people who share a commitment to recovery in my organization, and our company is very passionate about supporting recovery-centric organizations. So to give you an example, we had our May fundraising breakfast, and I invited 3 or 4 of our partners, all of whom showed up, all of whom wrote checks. And, we believe not only in giving with our checkbook, but in giving with ourselves and making a difference. So while I've been kind of driving some of the non-money giving in terms of facilitating workshops and things like that, I frankly envision my partners playing a role in helping Cornerstone in those kinds of ways going forward. So clearly, if I was going to say of all the not-for-profit organizations that we have anything to say about and want to do something for, Cornerstone is at the top of the list.
Perfect. Well, can you tell me,
ask you, Tom, with that, what is the is this the primary focus as far as your recovery work goes in terms of community support? Well,
it is right now, Kevin. I've been involved in the Council on Alcohol and Drugs. I was very much involved with a subset of that organization called Drug Free Business Houston. I've done a fair amount of public speaking on their behalf. It was kind of interesting. They approached me a few years back, and they have a couple of spring and fall fundraisers that are attended, that they have about 1,000 people attend. And they had asked, Bob Knowlton asked me on their behalf to do an interview that would be basically aired at a luncheon, and myself and another guy were talking about the fact that we'd been executives. I'd been an active alcoholic and a prescription drug addict, and it was all about the fact that kind of thing can go on. I mean, I was a pretty high-level guy with all this stuff going on in the background, and I had to think about that because I was kind of outing myself in a pretty big way, but I thought it was the right thing to do. And so, I get involved in offshoots of Cornerstone and things that they ask me to do, but I'm pretty selective about what I do because I want to do things for organizations that are actually really willing to accept contributions other than money that will allow us to make a difference.
Yep. Okay, we got about a minute left. Debbie, why don't you wrap it up?
Thank you. Tom, tell me, what would you tell a company that was thinking about getting involved with Cornerstone? What benefits might be in it for them?
Well, yeah, I mean, there's kind of the altruistic assertion that, well, you're helping, teens, families in our community. But if you think about the future of our culture, of our society, of our city, it's our kids. And to me, it's an investment in our future. I'll tell you, all you have to do is come sit with some of these young folks, and I have with a number of them, including some of the current staff, and I'll tell you what, they're actually inspirationally intimidating because they're so exceptional. I would follow any one of those kids over the cliff.
Thank you.
Yeah. Debbie, I need the website for Cornerstone Recovery.
Yes, it's cornerstonerecovery.org, O-R-G.
And I encourage the listener to check that out. Tom, your website.
It is www.allenaustin, it's ALLENAUSTIN, all one word, .com.
Thanks so much to both of you. Great interview. When we come back, much more for you. And you're listening to The Price of Business.